Hi everyone, I'll be with you shortly. I'm just going to give everybody about 30 seconds to chime in. Hi Julie, welcome, happy Sunday. Okay, we're going to get started. So today I thought I would start showing you some new products from the annual catalog that will go live on June 1st. This is a stamp set that I got while I attended On Stage in Hartford, Connecticut. It's called the Painted Glass. And I wish I could show you the coordinating products that go with this, but we're not allowed to show you what's in the catalog yet as far as catalog pages. Hi Kathy, hi Regina, hi Becky. There's some, you know what, I have a card that goes with this and I forget to take it out. I'll do that a little bit later. But what we're going to do today, I'm going to show you how to make this card. I'm using vellum, and we're going to do the stained glass technique if you've never done that before. Hi Diane, hi Connie, hi Linda, hi Carol. So we still have a lot of snow here, and there's nothing better to do right now than to stamp, so that's why I thought I'd chime in. So let's, Painted Glass is the stamp set. For inks, I'm using Memento and StazOn. Now, StazOn is reappearing in the catalog, and the basic black archival is going to go away. This one is retiring. So I was kind of happy that I held on to my StazOn. We're going to use that. We're going to use the tailored tag punch, glue dots, and I'm using the layering squares framelits dies, and this one measures 2 7/8, and then the next size smaller measures 2 3/8. I'm using the blends markers to color on the vellum. This is the rich raspberry light and dark, the ivory, and the pumpkin. Here's some new embellishments that I'm using. Aren't these pretty? It's the mint macaron that's coming back. I'm not sure. This is a new color too, I think. I'm not sure. And then basic black. These are called faceted dots. And I got these again at On Stage. The basket weave embossing folder. And I'm so happy to tell you that this is going to be in the new catalog. So if you did not earn this for free during celebration, you'll have a chance to buy it. Mini dimensionals, the regular dimensionals, and let me show you the cardstock I'm using today. Smoky Slate, 4 1/4 by 11, scored at 5 1/2, 5 by 3 3/4, 5 1/4 by 4. This one's for the inside. And I've gone ahead and cut these ahead of time with the layering squares dies. So Whisper White for the largest one, and then vellum cardstock for the smaller one. Hi Julie, hi Becky. Whisper White, 3 3/4 by 1. And then this is some new designer paper called Share What You Love, 5 by 1 and 4 by 1/2 inch. And I'm also going to be using the Stamparatus today. And I think that's about it for supply. So let's get started. I just need to organize myself here. Okay, I'm going to fold the cardstock in half on the score line. My next step is going to be to emboss with the basket weave embossing folder. Now I want to show you something that you may not have noticed. Now these are the same size, exactly the same length. Let me show you what happens when we put this through. Because this is a deeply embossed, it's going to shrink the paper because it presses down so much. So you'll notice that there's sometimes a little difference in size there. That's not because you cut it wrong. It's because the embossing folder actually shrunk the paper for you. So I'm just going to cut a little piece off. And I'm not using the basket weave side for my card. I'm using this side. It's got the little squares all over it. I thought that would be neat. So let me bring in the stamping dimensionals. Hi, Kathy. I'm glad you're here if you had to cancel your class. I hope you had a nice trip to Washington. Hi, Carol. Okay, so I'm going to glue this in place first. When I use tone-on-tone layers like this, I like to pop them so that they stand out more. It just makes a big difference on how it looks on the front. Next, I'm going to glue the designer paper. And I'm going to center that. So Dave and I have been so bored with all this snow we still have. There's absolutely nothing to do around here this time of year. Next, we're going to glue the Whisper White layer, the square. Again, I'm using dimensionals. And I'm going to glue that about 1/2 inch from the top of the second layer. And next I'm bringing in the vellum. Now a little trick that I like to use when I'm stamping on vellum, it's hard to see, so I usually bring in a dark piece of cardstock. That way you can see better when you're stamping. And I'm bringing in the Stays On ink. I love the smell of this ink. I'm glad they brought it back. Isn't that pretty? Now, let me bring my card back in. You'll notice here that I have roses on each corner. The roses are stamped identical. So guess what I use to do that? I use the Stamparatus. So I'm going to bring that in. And because I'm using red rubber for the rose, we're going to remove the foam. That makes the difference between the photopolymer and the red rubber. I also don't want to get Stays On ink on my surface here because Stays On ink is hard to clean. So I'm adding a piece of our grid sheet that I've gone ahead and cut. I didn't want to start right in the corner because there's no room there for my stamp image. So I'm going to use this line as my guide. And I'm going to position the rose where I want it. Press down to grab it. And then I'm going to ink that rose. And now I'm going to take this and turn it. Ink the rose again. So I'm going to do this 4 times. And I should not have put my finger on there. I got a little bit right there, but that's okay. I'm not paying attention to what I'm doing. These magnets are so strong when you don't have the foam mat on here. Okay, this is my 4th one. So as you can see, the roses are all the same in each corner. Isn't that neat? So that's a nice way to use the Stamparatus tool. Now this ink, I usually let it dry for a while just so I don't smudge it. So I've gone ahead and created one ahead of time. This one is completely dry. I'm going to bring in my blends markers. And I'm going to flip this over and color on this side. And that's where the stained glass technique comes in. It looks just like a church window. The color peeks in through the back, and it just makes for a nice colored layer. So you guys have to watch me color this for a little bit. Now this set, for those of us that went to Onstage, we were able to order the supplies that go with this. My order's coming in this week. There's actually a package of vellum cardstock, designer paper, and it's already stamped with images just like this that you can color. And if I can quickly find my card when I'm done here, I'll show it to you because we did one card. And we do have some new colors coming for the blends markers. This morning I was trying to organize my stamps, so I pulled all of my retired stamp sets. Right now I'm working on my dies. It's so exciting. It's heartbreaking that we have to get rid of some of our stuff, but it's also exciting that we have new stuff coming. Okay, I'm almost done coloring here. This is the ivory color. It doesn't show that much, but it just adds a little bit of like a tannish color to the background. Now all I got left to do is the roses. What I like about the blends markers, they dry so quickly as you're coloring. Almost no room for error there as far as smudging. Okay. So this is what that looks like. So see how light that is once it's colored, but once we add it over Whisper White layer, the colors really pop. So I'm going to add glue dots under the roses. They don't show that way. And you'll see the difference once I add that to the white. See how striking that is? The white just makes the colors pop so nicely. And I thought you'd have enough of me coloring this, so I've gone ahead and done the butterfly. Now there is a die set that goes with this stamp set. I just don't have it yet. It's coming this week. So I cut this by hand just for this card. I'm going to add some mini dimensionals in the center. And I'm going to fold it a little bit in the center like that. Glue it in place. And then we have to stamp the sentiment. So the butterfly I stamped with a memento ink because I'm stamping directly over the ink, where over here I stamped with Stays On and I was coloring on the back side. Stays On is just a better choice for vellum. And there's my sentiment. And then I'm bringing in the tailored tag punch. This punch, I love this punch, and it's going to carry through in the new catalog. So a little tip, I'm going to feed that in and stop right there and flag the ends of my sentiment. See how quick that was? Okay, this one's not quite centered. Let me cut a little bit more off. There, that's better. And now we're going to do the stamping dimensionals on the back. And I am not going to forget to do the inside of the card today like I do so often. Okay, so that's the outside. All we have left to do there is add the new bling. I'm using the largest size. And just one like that really makes a difference. It looks really good on the center of the medallion. Now for the inside, where's my stamp? I lost my stamp. Here it is. All I'm going to do is use the medallion image. Stamp 3 like that. And then I'm going to add a strip of the designer paper at the bottom. I'm going to leave this black. I'm also going to add a butterfly in the corner. Did I add 2? Oops, wait a minute. I did. I added 2 on this one. And we're going to glue this on the inside. You guys are going to love this bling, really. If for those of you that came in late, look at the beautiful colors. And there's a ton of these. So there's 10 across, and I bet you there's over 100 on that sheet of bling. Okay, so that's my card. Let me see if I can grab the other card that we made using the same stamp set. Okay, here it is. So for this one, this is the vellum that we can buy. That's part of our designer paper line. And they're 6 by 6 sheets, I believe. I can't remember, but we can cut them the way we want. And then I added some color here with the blends and then just a couple layers. And then this is also some new ribbon. So that's another card idea. So as soon as I get my products this week, I'll be making some more cards, and I'll also show you guys some more videos using those products. So thanks for stopping by today. Thanks for joining me on a Sunday, and I hope you have a good remainder of the day. Bye-bye.